Thyrocare Technology is listed a year back and has gained 65% since then. The company posted a strong 39% net profit growth in the January to March quarter. And to discuss the outlook on the business going forward, we are being joined by Mr. A. Velumani, the promoter, managing director and chief executive officer, Thyrocare Technologies. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
So just to start off with, on this quarter's numbers, if you could tell us what has driven this strong 36% growth that you've seen in the diagnostic testing services segment, and if you could give us a breakup between the price growth, volume growth.
We have been doing 25% growth year over year, and this year we have done a 29% growth year over year. It looks very impressive growth in quarter 4 because always quarter 4 is the best quarter in the all 4 quarters of the year.
Right.
So this year too it was good, but if you look at this year 4th quarter compared to last year's 4th quarter, it's more or less same. So we don't see that as any additional sudden surge as a player in the space for last 2 decades. Having said that, there have been competition. We are now listed, 2 companies are listed, so the multiples are very clearly seen. So there are plenty of people who did not know how attractive this segment is. Today are all trying to be in. Lot of FDI has been flowing in. So which means the industry has become active, and whichever industry becomes active becomes disruptive, and disruptions give rise to pressures in pricing. Fortunate for us, we haven't changed any pricing strategy in the last 2 years, and we have a good growth, and as long as growth is there, we believe that the pricing need not be touched.
Okay, all right. So could you tell us more about your expansion plans for the year-end strategy, be it with respect to addition of the new RPLs, PETs, CT centers, any corporate deals in the offing and online business vertical plans that you may have?
Nothing suddenly we have signed any big contracts. A good number of projects are activated a couple of quarters back. They have started giving some revenues and returns. If you look at it, we did not have any regional processing laboratory 18 months back. So in this last 18 months, we have put up 6 regional processing laboratories. That could also be one of the reason why this year's growth is better than even previous year's growth. We also would be going ahead and putting up at least another 6 regional processing laboratories in next 1 year's period.
Okay.
And they don't truly demand too much of capex, so we have fairly good comfort of cash in hand. So we look at the radiology business as a potential tomorrow's business, not today's business. And radiology business is a high capex, pathology business is a low capex, and radiology business is low apex, and pathology business is a high apex.
Right.
So we are trying to see whether radiology can be groomed so that in the next decade it could fuel the growth as well as profitability.
Right.
Go ahead.
So any revenue or margin growth targets that you're working with for FY18, because that's something which investors would really want to know.
It's very difficult to say a number and then work on it because there will be pressure. I have been doing a fair 25% plus or minus 2 to 3% growth for the last literally 10 years. I think that's very much doable. If anything better happens in the course of the year, that will only be talked when it has happened. I have never been promising more and delivering less, so I wouldn't love to do that even today. But I am certain that 25% of top line growth with continuing 40% EBITDA is very much seen for at least a year or 2.
That's fantastic numbers, those are. So, but over a longer period, say about 3 years or so, given that you also mentioned the incremental competition that is coming in the space, which has become very attractive now, do you believe that the diagnostic market could really become more commoditized, which could in turn force some of the larger players to reduce prices? So eventually, does it look like it will become a volume game, and what does the margin outlook look like for Thyrocare especially?
In healthcare industry, no one has understood what is the true price of a service, because no one has seen volumes and no one has calculated anything on a scale of 100 crore, 200 crore turnover. So, the pricing has been more towards security than towards prosperity, entire healthcare segment. So, I came in, I disrupted biochemistry as a segment of the total healthcare. Then people have understood this man is working on volume, and people felt that without volume you cannot be in the game, and then everybody has started working on volume. You just can't get volume till you disrupt your price. So, that is a game which will continue. Okay. But if you ask me what will happen in the long run prices will get optimized. It won't be as high as what it is today. I have a reason to believe all healthcare services would tend to become either 20%, 30%, even sometimes 50% lesser than what they are, and depending upon what segment is it. Exactly that is what I am doing in PET-CT also. When the industry is charging around 25,000, I am charging 10,000, which means I am keen to produce a volume. Standing machine is a loss. Running machine is a prosperity. To make the machine running, you need to have volumes. So, I believe that is the way everyone will do. That means some of the people who have priced it obnoxiously high have to tweak it to acceptable prices.
Okay. So in the past, with price controls already implemented as far as drugs are concerned, the government has been increasingly focusing on introducing similar measures for diagnostics and equipment, and I believe this is one of the proposed policy measures also in the recently released National Health Policy. Is that a concern for you?
It is in fact a good news for me. The reason is I am the lowest cost operator in the country, and I have been looked upon as if I am a poor quality man for a pretty long period. Only in the last 5 years, including the competition, everybody agrees, yes, you have a business model. So, I have a reason to believe whatever has been overcharged, whoever have been overcharging, they would have a fear of a price control. I think I am waiting for it, and if it happens, I will be celebrating.
Well, okay, so you are only happy if that comes. All right, Mr. Velumani, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.